yesterday saw the start of the DA's elective conference. The most significant talking point is, can the DA grow its support if it has a white leader? This is, however, a concerning question, because how can we even begin to build a non-racial society if the foundation of our democracy, the right to vote, is founded on race? Because race has played such a big part in the history of South Africa, it will always be an issue in politics. But 30 years into democracy, we have learned that voting for black leaders does not automatically translate into benefit for black South Africans. South Africa is at a crossroads, and the next general election will decide the nation's fate. 5 more years in power for the ANC will see incompetence and corruption destroy any hope of progress. A coalition of evil between the ANC and the EFF will destroy the country beyond repair. And some sort of coalition between ideologically divergent parties will, at best, be unreliable, as local government coalitions have demonstrated. So, we are between a rock and a hard place, with no good options, just less bad ones. Because voting in South Africa has been reduced to little more than a race census, we cannot put the best option on the table: an outright majority for the DA. For most South African voters, this is not even an option they will consider. Instead of voting for the DA and its white leader, they would rather continue to vote for the ANC. Not vote at all. Or switch their vote to political charlatans like the EFF. The inability of voters to see past race is entirely understandable, given the history of apartheid, but it is also detrimental. The DA has proven much more effective at provincial leadership than the ANC. They have a much better internal structure for dealing with corruption. But most importantly, they have a much better ideological viewpoint that would enable them to make better policies to grow the economy, reduce unemployment, and move the nation forward. It would be hard to convince anyone following his political career that John Steenhuisen would not be better for all South Africans than our current or previous presidents. Ironically, it is not DA policy that has created the idea that the DA is racist. Instead, the narrative has been fueled by truly racist parties on the left. The fact that black leaders can contest any position in the DA proves it is not a racist party. And DA leadership is much more diverse than the parties calling them racist, like the EFF. Some blame for this narrative can also be laid at the feet of some black DA leaders who have done the party in South Africa a massive disservice by propagating the notion that the DA is a white party. Black people have joined the DA, which has a clear policy of non-racialism, but then expected race to speed up their advancement. Then resigned and accused the party of racism when this had not happened. That is like joining a cricket club and then getting angry that they don't play soccer. Not winning a vote does not mean you have been the victim of racism. Other past members have used race as a scapegoat for their behavior, accusing the DA of racism to deflect from their accountability. It's bizarre that following the damaging accusation against the DA, former Cape Town Mayor, Patricia de Lille, became the only non-ANC member in the cabinet. Was that perhaps because her actions helped the ANC more than their own campaign? Anyone who has read the DA's constitution and policy documents or followed how they govern in the Western Cape will know that the DA is not a racist or white party. And while no party is perfect, their policies are South Africa's best chance of turning things around. Regardless of whether the DA emerges from their conference with a white or a black leader, South Africa should seriously consider putting the option of a DA government on the table. If we are serious about non-racism, is it not time to put our vote where our mouths are? Please support this channel by liking and subscribing.